Even Hollywood's biggest stars have roles they wish they could take back. From casting controversies to unforgettable missteps, these moments highlight the challenges of staying true to authenticity in cinema. Here are 20 movie scenes that actors have come to regret.
Ryan Reynolds from Vancouver, British Columbia. Ooh, I love.
Fantastic.
When Ryan Reynolds first took on the role of Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins, Wolverine 2009, he had high hopes of bringing one of his favorite comic book characters to life. However, the result was far from what he envisioned. In the film, Reynolds played Wade Wilson, a skilled swordsman who later becomes the mutant Deadpool. While the role was initially exciting, it quickly turned into a source of regret for Reynolds after the film's release. Deadpool in the comics is known for his sharp wit, sarcasm, and his iconic red and black costume. He's a fan favorite due to his unique sense of humor and ability to break the fourth wall. However, in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Reynolds' portrayal of the character took a drastically different turn. Instead of the wisecracking, irreverent hero fans adored, the film version of Deadpool was a mind-controlled, silent mutant with a sealed mouth. This was a far cry from the Deadpool fans knew and loved. Reynolds, who had been a fan of the character himself, was initially excited to play Deadpool, but after seeing how the character was treated in the movie, he regretted his involvement. He felt the portrayal didn't do justice to the essence of Deadpool, and fans shared the same sentiment. Motivated by both disappointment and his passion for the role, Reynolds campaigned for years to redeem Deadpool with a solo film. Eventually, Deadpool 2016 was released, and it was everything fans had hoped for: a mix of action, humor, and the distinct personality of the character. Reynolds' portrayal in the solo film was a major hit, propelling his career to new heights. The success of Deadpool not only gave fans the Deadpool they had always wanted, but also solidified Reynolds as one of the most beloved actors in superhero cinema.
We've never done anything together. We've been friends completely in and around that, and so we've taken.
Edward Norton, a talented actor known for his intense and thoughtful performances, brought a unique approach to his portrayal of the Hulk in the 2008 film The Incredible Hulk. However, his time as Bruce Banner in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was short-lived, primarily due to creative disagreements that led to him parting ways with the franchise. Norton had a vision for the Hulk that focused on the darker, more introspective aspects of the character, inspired by the gravitas of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. He wanted to explore the mythic and psychological depths of the Hulk across 2 films, delving into Bruce Banner's struggles and presenting a complex, introspective character journey that contrasted with the MCU's typical mix of lightheartedness and action. Unfortunately, Norton's vision clashed with Marvel Studios' approach. As the MCU evolved into a cohesive and interconnected universe with a more vibrant and accessible tone, the studio's direction appealed to a broader audience. This creative discord led to tensions, and ultimately, Norton was replaced by Mark Ruffalo, who went on to define the role in subsequent MCU films. While Norton's departure marked the end of his Hulk journey, it also highlighted an important aspect of filmmaking: the need for collaboration and alignment between an actor's creative input and a studio's overarching vision. Though the split may have been disappointing, it ultimately allowed both Norton and Marvel to pursue paths that better aligned with their respective goals.
What he wants, he doesn't have to really get in there and give you a lot of direction.
Yeah.
So Harrison walks in and he's just...
The Star Wars universe is filled with unforgettable moments, but not all of them sit well with the actors who brought the saga to life. Mark Hamill, the iconic Luke Skywalker, has expressed mixed feelings about a particular scene in The Empire Strikes Back involving the fierce Wampa. While the creature was meant to be a terrifying predator, Hamill's take on the scene offers a surprising glimpse into his empathy, both as an actor and as a fan of the character. In the film, Luke fends off the Wampa in a desperate fight for survival, using his lightsaber to defend himself. While fans remember the moment as thrilling and intense, Hamill admitted that it left him feeling uneasy. He was initially told that his lightsaber would simply scare the creature away. But when he saw the final version of the scene, Luke was shown severing the Wampa's arm, complete with a slow-motion shot of the limb falling to the ground. Hamill felt the scene was unnecessarily violent, especially for Luke, a character known for his compassion and restraint. Years later, Hamill took to Twitter to express his regrets about the scene, standing by his belief that it conflicted with Luke's principles. Some fans disagreed, arguing that it demonstrated Luke's growth and survival instincts. Still, Hamill sympathized with the Wampa's plight, noting the eerie parallel to Luke losing his own hand later in the film. This reflection highlights the complexity of storytelling, where even actors question how their characters' actions align with their established traits. For Hamill, the scene remains a poignant reminder of the balance between action and morality, even in a galaxy far, far away.
You know, hang with one hand, cut with the other. I'd be pretty good at that.
Evil Dead 2, 1987, is a cult classic known for its unique blend of horror and comedy, with Bruce Campbell leading the charge as Ash Williams. The film takes audiences on a wild ride through a remote cabin in the woods, where Ash, after discovering an ancient audio recording, inadvertently unleashes a demon that turns his life upside down. True to Evil Dead fashion, the film escalates with grotesque and bizarre moments, culminating in one of the most iconic scenes in horror, Ash severing his possessed right hand with a chainsaw. Bruce Campbell has often spoken about the physical and mental demands of the production, particularly the scene with the prosthetic hand and chainsaw. Imagine having to hold a fake hand attached to a real chainsaw, with the latter dangerously close to your own flesh. Campbell's commitment was evident as he took on this high-risk scene, but the emotional toll was significant as well. The physical strain of holding the prosthetic hand while operating the chainsaw was one thing, but the emotional weight of performing such a brutal scene took its toll. Campbell even questioned whether the intensity of the moment was truly necessary or if it pushed the limits too far. Campbell's regret wasn't solely based on the physical demands. Reflecting on the role, he admitted that looking back, he might have second-guessed taking it on. The challenges, both physical and emotional, were far more taxing than he initially anticipated. The level of commitment required made him wonder whether the sacrifice was truly worth it, especially considering the personal toll the filming process had on him. Despite these regrets, Evil Dead 2 remains a beloved horror classic, solidifying Campbell's place in the genre's history.
Stage.
Was that on purpose? Absolutely.
Was it a fault? What happened?
What do you mean?
Jennifer Lawrence, a Hollywood powerhouse and Academy Award-winning actress, has delivered countless memorable performances. However, even the most celebrated stars experience moments that leave them with mixed emotions. For Lawrence, one such moment occurred with her role in the 2016 film Passengers, where she starred alongside Chris Pratt. The movie centers on two characters stranded in space, with their survival and emotional connection becoming the heart of the story. Just like their characters, Pratt and Lawrence shared undeniable chemistry, which led to some intimate on-screen moments. While Lawrence had experience with romantic scenes, this one was different. It marked her first time kissing a married co-star, which made her feel uneasy. Her apprehension came not just from the nature of the scene, but also from a broader sense of personal discomfort. Lawrence admitted that she struggled emotionally during filming and even drank wine beforehand to ease her nerves. These feelings were further complicated when Pratt and his then-wife Anna Faris announced their separation after the film's release. While Lawrence had no involvement in their split, the timing sparked unfounded rumors and speculation among fans and the media. Looking back, Lawrence has expressed regret over the unease she felt during production. The experience highlights the challenges actors face when navigating on-screen intimacy and the scrutiny that often follows. It serves as a poignant reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, actors are human too, with their own vulnerabilities and boundaries.
I'm hungry for...
Burt Reynolds took a significant risk in Deliverance that left a lasting impact both on screen and in his life. During a pivotal scene where his character navigates a canoe over a waterfall, Reynolds made the decision to perform the stunt himself, opting out of using a stunt double or a dummy. This choice, driven by his desire for authenticity, resulted in a painful injury, a broken tailbone, that forced him to take a month-long break from acting. Reflecting on the incident in a 2015 interview about his memoir, But Enough About Me, Reynolds admitted his regret. He revealed that his decision was driven by a desire to project a rugged and capable image, but he ultimately recognized it as a mistake. Looking back, he acknowledged that relying on a professional stunt double would have spared him the pain and disruption the injury caused. This moment serves as a cautionary tale about the physical risks actors often take in their pursuit of delivering believable performances. It also highlighted Reynolds' dedication and determination, as he remained committed to authenticity and his craft, even at a personal cost. Despite the injury, his drive for realism and his fearless approach to his roles cemented his legacy as one of Hollywood's most daring performers. The waterfall scene, while iconic, stands as a reminder of the challenges actors face behind the scenes and the sacrifices they make to create unforgettable moments in cinematic history.
Here hosting Saturday Night Live. You know, I remember when SNL first started.
For many actors, the path to fame is filled with unexpected challenges, and Taylor Lautner's experience in the Twilight Saga is a perfect example. While his role as Jacob Black undoubtedly catapulted his career, not every moment on set was as glamorous as it appeared on screen. Lautner's transformation into the beloved werewolf involved numerous shirtless scenes, which became a defining aspect of his character. While fans enjoyed these moments, Lautner himself wasn't always thrilled with the attention they attracted. Looking back on his time playing Jacob, Lautner admits that if given the choice, he would never take his shirt off again for a movie. It wasn't just the physical demands of staying in shape, though that was certainly challenging, but Lautner was also acutely aware of the attention his body received, and that wasn't something he always felt comfortable with. Despite the effort he put into getting in shape for the role, Lautner has made it clear that he wanted to be recognized for his acting abilities, not just his physique. In his mind, those iconic shirtless scenes, while memorable, often overshadowed his acting talent. Lautner hoped for a future where he could break free from being typecast as the beefcake and instead be seen for his range as an actor. His journey highlights the challenge of balancing physical image with artistic growth in Hollywood.
Listen, before we start, I had last year castmates.
George Clooney, celebrated for his charisma and versatile acting skills, is not exempt from career missteps. One of his most infamous roles was portraying Batman in the 1997 film Batman and Robin, a performance that remains a point of regret for the Hollywood icon. Unlike the darker, critically acclaimed entries in the Batman franchise, this installment took a campier approach, leaving both fans and critics deeply disappointed. Directed by Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin faced harsh criticism for its lackluster plot, over-the-top performances, and questionable creative decisions, most notably the now infamous bat suit with nipples. Despite Clooney's undeniable star power, the film failed to connect with audiences, and is often regarded as one of the weakest entries in the Batman series. Clooney has been refreshingly candid about his feelings toward the film. In interviews, he's described it as a poor choice and has even apologized to fans for his portrayal of the Dark Knight. He's called it one of the worst performances of his career and expressed regret for the negative impact it had on the Batman legacy. Clooney's honesty about the misstep highlights the challenges actors face when a project doesn't meet expectations. His ability to laugh at his mistakes and learn from them adds a relatable and human touch to his otherwise stellar career, reminding fans that even A-list stars have their cinematic blunders.
Game of Thrones. So I've teamed up with Omaze to give one lucky winner. And
filming intimate scenes can be challenging for any actor, and Emilia Clarke's experience on Game of Thrones highlights the unique difficulties such moments can bring. Known for her role as Daenerys Targaryen, Clarke performed numerous scenes involving nudity, including the iconic moment when Daenerys emerges from a blazing fire, unharmed and unclothed. While these scenes were pivotal in shaping her character's arc, they came with significant personal challenges. One particularly awkward incident occurred during the episode titled Book of the Stranger. Clarke had invited her parents to watch the episode with her, completely forgetting about the nudity involved. The realization mid-viewing created a cringeworthy and unforgettable moment, underscoring the personal difficulties actors face when navigating the intersection of their craft and private lives. Beyond the familial awkwardness, Clarke has expressed concerns about the lasting nature of such scenes in today's digital age, where everything is permanently accessible online. These moments are often scrutinized out of context, adding another layer of vulnerability. Reflecting on her experiences, Clarke has since become more selective about taking on roles involving nudity, emphasizing the importance of setting personal boundaries in the entertainment industry. Her journey is a reminder of the vulnerability actors face, especially in globally successful productions. It also underscores the responsibility of creators to ensure performers feel supported and empowered to make choices that align with their personal and professional values.
I recognize him by name, not by...
Charlie Sheen's career journey is a powerful example of how fame and fortune can be overshadowed by personal struggles. Once celebrated as the highest-paid actor on television, earning $1.8 million per episode of 2.5 Men, Sheen's meteoric rise was matched by the intensity of his fall. His battles with addiction, which began in the 1990s, became a recurring issue that eventually led to a series of highly publicized scandals. By 2010, Sheen's life was spiraling out of control. Arrests, allegations of violence, and substance abuse created turmoil in both his personal and professional life. Production on 2.5 Men was halted as he sought treatment, but his erratic behavior escalated. His public feud with the show's creator, Chuck Lorre, culminated in his dismissal from the series in 2011, a shocking moment that marked the start of his decline in Hollywood. Despite his turbulent past, Sheen's recent actions reflect a renewed determination to turn his life around. He has been candid about his struggles, attributing his missteps to a toxic mix of addiction, immaturity, and the intense pressures of stardom. Now, over a year sober, Sheen is embracing a path of redemption, focusing on rebuilding both his personal and professional life. His efforts to reclaim control and seek a fresh start serve as an inspiring reminder that it's never too late to change. Sheen's resilience and commitment to rebuilding offer hope, proving that even after hitting rock bottom, it's possible to pave the way toward a brighter future.
On the outside, definitely croissant, and I would say it's got to be a good...
When you think of Titanic, one of the most iconic moments is Rose lying on the couch with a French girl portrait in her hands as Jack sketches her. While this scene is integral to the film and has become one of the most memorable images in cinema, for Kate Winslet, it has also become a source of discomfort over the years. The drawing itself remains iconic, but its legacy isn't always something Winslet is thrilled to revisit. Long after Titanic hit theaters, fans would repeatedly bring up that scene at events, often asking her to autograph copies of the nude portrait. While seemingly innocent from a fan's perspective, this constant reminder left Winslet feeling uneasy. She admitted she was surprised by how the image continued to follow her, especially as she grew older and embraced new roles in life, including motherhood. Though Winslet has made peace with her role in Titanic and the immense exposure it brought, the continued focus on that particular moment feels like a reminder of her younger self, rather than the person she is now. She has expressed how, in her 40s, looking back at such a personal and intimate moment from her youth can be uncomfortable, particularly when fans approach her with something so tied to her past. It's not just the scene itself that unsettles her. It's the fact that this singular moment continues to dominate perceptions of her public image, overshadowing who she has become.
Science books recently. I loved Gathering Moss by Robin Wall Kimmerer.
Natalie Portman's journey into the role of Nina Sayers in Black Swan was more than just a character transformation. It became a deeply personal and grueling challenge. To authentically portray a professional ballet dancer, Portman underwent rigorous training, sometimes for up to 16 hours a day. The physical demands were immense, and the emotional toll was equally overwhelming, as she immersed herself in Nina's psychological unraveling. Her commitment to embodying both the fragility and obsession of a dancer, striving for perfection, was nothing short of extraordinary. This dedication came at a significant cost. The intense training led her to lose a considerable amount of weight, and the emotional strain of portraying a character descending into madness took its toll. Yet, it was this unwavering commitment that earned her widespread critical acclaim, culminating in an Academy Award for Best Actress. Despite the accolades, Portman has openly reflected on the sacrifices required to bring Nina to life. Her experience in Black Swan serves as a stark reminder of the price of perfection in the arts, highlighting not only the fulfillment of playing such a complex role, but also the often overlooked struggles actors endure to achieve excellence.
Didn't even get off the ground.
Yes, you did. You made it almost to the top. I was really impressed.
Did I?
Yeah.
Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson's romantic scene in the 1930s circus setting of Water for Elephants might have seemed like the perfect backdrop for a captivating love story. But behind the scenes, things were far from ideal. Despite their undeniable on-screen chemistry, the kiss turned into an awkward and far from glamorous moment due to an unfortunate case of the common cold. During one pivotal scene, Pattinson was battling a nasty cold. He later admitted, "My nose was running all over the place." And the situation only worsened during a reshoot when he ended up wiping his nose on Witherspoon's wig. Witherspoon confirmed how unpleasant the experience was, humorously describing it as anything but the romantic moment audiences might have envisioned. "It wasn't pleasant, definitely not appealing," she joked, showing that even Hollywood magic can have its mishaps. While Pattinson's fans might have imagined the perfect cinematic kiss, Witherspoon had a practical piece of advice for anyone dreaming of such a moment. Bring a Sudafed. What could have been a dreamy, iconic kiss instead became a funny and relatable behind-the-scenes mishap, reminding us that even Hollywood stars aren't immune to awkward moments.
Things. And we have to stop and think about who...
Sharon Stone's infamous interrogation scene in Basic Instinct has become iconic, but the behind-the-scenes story reveals a much more complex reality. The scene where Stone's character, Catherine Trammell, provocatively crosses her legs, briefly exposing herself in front of detectives, launched the film into pop culture history. However, Stone later disclosed that she had not consented to the level of explicitness shown in the final cut. Stone explained that she was assured the scene would be subtle and that nothing revealing would appear on screen. Trusting the director, Paul Verhoeven, she followed his request to remove her underwear for the shot, believing the lighting and camera angles would obscure any explicit details. To her shock, the final version of the film included a fully explicit take, shown without her prior knowledge or approval. Feeling betrayed, Stone reportedly confronted Verhoeven in anger, even slapping him during the confrontation. She expressed outrage at being exposed on screen in a way she hadn't agreed to, calling it a violation of her trust and professionalism. This incident remains a controversial topic, highlighting the importance of clear communication and mutual respect between actors and filmmakers. For Stone, the experience left a lasting impact on her career, but also sparked critical conversations about consent and ethics in filmmaking, issues that remain highly relevant in the industry today.
Sitting at home and just doing like weird manny voices and facial expression.
Daniel Radcliffe, despite the overwhelming success of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, has been surprisingly critical of his own performance in the film. Unlike his satisfaction with his work in other installments of the franchise, Radcliffe has openly expressed a strong dislike for his acting in this particular chapter. He even described himself as unwatchable, a rare moment of self-criticism for an actor who essentially grew up in front of the camera. This candid admission is striking, especially considering the immense global attention the Harry Potter series received, where every performance was meticulously analyzed by millions of fans. Radcliffe's openness about his perceived shortcomings showcases his vulnerability and the high standards he holds himself to. Interestingly, while Radcliffe has been his own harshest critic, many fans felt his performance captured the darker tone of the film effectively. His ability to convey the somber atmosphere of Half-Blood Prince was widely appreciated by audiences. However, his dissatisfaction reflects the intense self-reflection that many actors face, particularly those who have been part of a global cultural phenomenon. Radcliffe's honesty serves as a reminder that even the most successful actors can be their own toughest critics, grappling with internal struggles even when their work is well received by audiences.
And all of my fellow nominees, I'm in awe of you, your strength, your complexity.
Zoe Saldana's portrayal of Nina Simone in Nina became a deeply regrettable moment in her career. The controversy began as soon as the casting was announced, with critics questioning the decision to use darkening makeup and prosthetics to alter Saldana's appearance. Many viewed this choice as disrespectful, undermining Simone's legacy as a trailblazer in Black culture and her proud embrace of her racial identity. The backlash was swift and widespread, with critics, fans, and even Simone's family condemning the film's approach. They argued that it reflected Hollywood's problematic history of prioritizing marketability over authenticity in casting. For Saldana, what initially seemed like an opportunity to honor a legendary artist turned into a decision she now describes as a misstep. She has since expressed regret, acknowledging she was not the right person to bring Nina Simone's story to life, and apologizing for the harm her involvement may have caused. Reflecting on the controversy, Saldana admitted she should have stepped aside to allow someone whose identity and experiences aligned more closely with Simone's to take on the role. Her regret highlights the critical need for authentic representation in storytelling and the responsibility actors have when portraying real-life figures.